Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is January 31st, 2018, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the economic events of the day, we're starting out at 12 p.m. South African time, yearly CPI flash estimates coming out for the euro. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. But as the week progresses, we've got lots of numbers coming out of the United States. And just as a prelude, yesterday was the State of the Union address given by the President of the United States, Donald Trump. And nothing really, to surprise us there economically. But as the week progresses today, we've got FOMC at 9 p.m. South African time. That's the biggest number of today, so I'm going to jump to that. And then we have a rate statement that comes out preceding that, which is, traders look for some clues in the future. And there's some inflation worries that started out on Monday. I'm not sure if that's really the catalyst that sold us off on the Dow. Most likely it's people taking their profits before the FOMC meeting. So at 3:30, let's just jump back to our regular schedule. 3:30 CAD, Canadian dollar monthly GDP number coming out. Not sure if that's going to be a huge number, but just important to know that that's coming out. And then at 5:30 South African time, weekly oil inventory numbers coming out. Now, the oil's been volatile recently, so that's an important number to come out. And then again, 9 p.m. South African time, federal funds rate coming out. That's interest rates, overnight interest rates that is given to the bank. So much numbers coming out. And then, of course, Friday, we're going to have our NFP. So that's a week full of, major events that are sure to move the markets. And that could be some of the reason that, some people took some money off the table the last couple of days. But let's see what's been happening in the market. So we're taking a look here at the Euro USD trading at 124.92-ish level. We had a nice baseline that we set for ourselves at 123.44, and we sold off the previous day down to 123. We, I guess, bounced a little bit, if you call that, about 30 pips, and then tested it again. It didn't fall through, okay, and we held that line. So as it stands, I call this a minor support level at 123.44. So like I mentioned earlier in the week, we're setting ourselves up in a new trading range for the Euro USD. And as you can see here, we're at the top of the range. So, as the news comes out this week, I'm sure we're going to have a lot of whiplash in both directions, okay? Just partially of what I anticipate as the week progresses. Now, looking at the GBP USD, just a minor retracement. Looking at the weekly, really not retracing that much, okay? And it looks like it wants to take off here. 41.96, 141.96, and we're right there at resistance, okay? So previous support, subsequent resistance. So keep an eye on this to see if it does break above it, because if it does, it could take it up even higher. So now showing some tremendous weight and strength in the GBP. USDs are also getting stronger here versus getting weaker, versus the dollar, 11.93, as you can see here. And it's pretty much, it looks like it's setting itself a baseline here between 11.90-ish level and 12-ish level. So let's, it's in a tight range, so nothing really, that it's saying it's progressively getting stronger versus the dollar, but it's trading in a tight range, so nothing really surprising there. Looking at gold here, we had our bounce, okay, from 1333 down to 1344, finally hitting that baseline. And we mentioned this yesterday, okay, and this was a great trade if you were able to jump into it. 1333 was a good entrance point. 1344. Now we're at mid-level between our two moving averages, okay, so I don't expect us to really, unless we break out on the upside, okay, I don't expect us to really, shatter the market in one direction or another. Looking at oil. Now, in oil, this is looking at a weekly chart, we had a little bit of a retracement here, a double top we had at 66.25, and we retraced down to $64 a barrel. Now, at this point, we don't have much history to really go by as a support level, but we did hit this level previously. So, if the numbers comes out that, we're in line with inventory, etc., we may bounce off of it, because things are still trending upwards for oil. Okay, so keep an eye on this if we do get that confirmation later today. Looking at the USD CAD, getting much stronger versus the dollar, and just looks, tremendous weakness here for the dollar versus the CAD. Okay, CAD looking much stronger. And we may see ourselves getting back to this 120 levels. Let's see if that does fruit and we continue to break down here on the downside. Now, looking at the Dow Jones, big retracement yesterday, 358 points down, okay, down from our high of our all-time high of 26,650-ish level. So we had like 3 straight days that we've been down. Now this is not surprising, okay. Number one, we're going into FOMC meeting. Number two, we're going into the NFP. And number three, we've rallied more than, 1,500 points since the new year. So, for people to take some money off the table, I think it's quite, responsible of them. Okay, and this is exactly what happens. We get these massive days that it's fierce and fast on the downside. Now, I want to highlight the fact that it's less volume. Okay, and so we may find ourselves now trading in a different level. And this is really great. Presents itself a really great opportunity for people looking to trade the range, because now we're developing ourselves a certain baseline, hopefully, and once we have a baseline, we'll affirm a certain range for it, and then we'll know, if it's going to break out higher or break out lower, and then we'll have somewhat of a parameter, okay? Because right now we're in uncharted territory, all-time highs. There's no really support, there's no really resistance. You're not sure how much further it could go up, not sure how much further it could go down. But once you have it trading in a range, you then present itself, to a new territory, right? It's setting itself boundaries, okay? And at that point, that's really easier for a trader to really, present itself with buying opportunities and selling opportunities with historical data. Now, looking at the JSE, we sold sharply yesterday, as you can see here as well, 52,829, okay, and we were just shy of our all-time highs of 55,500. Now, this could be done purposely, several reasons, okay. Number one, like I said, people taking money off the table, not enough conviction in the market to take it up higher. But remember, we're only starting out the year, okay? So, between now and next December, we've got a lot of territory to cover, and we could still see ourselves, breaking out higher, okay, if the markets are still hot and moving and the economies are still strong. Looking at the DAX, we're trading at 13,194. Okay, now this wasn't surprising because, we broke down earlier, not making this all-time high, breaking the support level of 13,500, and then continuously just breaking down. Okay, so I'd like to see some sort of a bounce here. Okay, we're hitting somewhat of a previous resistance, subsequent support here at 13,194. So I'd like to see some sort of a bounce coming in the next couple of days, and we may get that with the confirmation of the economic news with the FOMC and with the NFP coming out later this week. So keep an eye on it. Let's look for opportunities. Just keep yourself in a tight stop loss, because it's going to be very volatile today. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.